Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I'm making this video after a long time. The reason was I was on vacation. So from now onwards, you will be getting the regular videos. So let's start. Before I start this video, I also want to add that this video I'm gonna make it in English as I'm getting a lot of requests. I will see if I will get the requests that keep continuing in Hindi, then I will see what I can do. So in today's video, what we are going to learn is we are going to talk about that how you can have the coverage of your whole project of test cases. I'm going to talk about what is coverage, why it is required, and so on. And also I'm going to show you how you can optimize your test cases. So a quick recap before that. In the last few videos, what we have done is we did TDD, test driven development, where we wrote the test cases first and then we wrote the component code. We did the footer and header. Okay, so let's start with the first topic of today, the coverage. Why coverage is important, what it is, how you can have the coverage, all that. So first thing is, what is coverage? As the name says, coverage, it is gonna cover your project test cases. Now why it is important and what even it means. So you have written the test cases, but if someone is gonna ask you, your teammates, your senior, your client, that how many test cases you have written, how many lines you have covered, are the all the functions and the code components, everything is covered or not, are you gonna do that manually? No. The reason is, obviously we are developers, so we are not gonna do anything manually. We need a automation. So what we do is we use coverage to get the coverage of all the test cases we have written. It will give us a table with all the files we have in our code, and with that it is going to give us the numerical value that how many lines got covered of the test cases we have written, from the of how many lines are covered by the test cases we have written. And it will also highlight that which lines or which files are missing from our test cases. So it will give you a very beautiful indication that how much percentage of code is covered by our test cases. Now why it is important? Because whenever you are going to talk or communicate about your project to anyone for the testing, they are going to ask you, can you please share the coverage of your test cases? And that number is going to indicate that how much you have written the test cases for your project. Now a lot of people assume that higher the value of the test coverage is the quality test cases. No. Higher the number doesn't guarantee that the quality of your test cases are higher. It only indicates that you have written the test cases of every file or every code line. The quality is in the hand of the developers and the reviewers. So every time you are reviewing any PR or you are writing the test cases, make sure that you are writing the quality code, or basically your test cases code. Okay, so now what we are going to do is we are going to see the coverage, how to have that coverage. The good thing is, in Create React app, it is already there, supported by Chest. All we need to do is just add this command coverage and npm test dash dash and again dash dash coverage. Okay, so this is what we are going to write. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this command. Let's wait. And now you can see, I will zoom little bit. You can see this file is coming. Now right now what it is doing is, because it is picking our source folder, it is just seeing footer JSX and header JSX. It is not picking any other file outside that. We can change it as we are going to have more we are going to have more files here or folders here. If we wanted to ignore that, that can also be done. You can see that it is 100% right now. What it means, that all the statements have been covered, all the branches, any functions, line, everything has been covered. So right now our coverage is 100% right now. But does it as I said you, that 100% is doesn't indicate, higher the number doesn't indicate that we have written the quality test cases. Why, I will show you in a while, but please remember this. Now once you get this coverage, you will also see, you will get a folder created here, in this is your coverage report. You are not gonna basically you are not gonna put it in your GitHub. You can already see that in git ignore. Let's go here. In git ignore, it is already uh, ignored. So coverage folder never goes to your um, GitHub. Okay, so you will get this file. You can do it. If you wanted to change anything, all you need to do is you need to come here, create a file with just .config.js, and here what you are gonna do is you are gonna create the settings. So for example, I will just give you an example, module exports, and here what we are gonna say is that I want my coverage reports, let me hide it, coverage reporters, is it fine, to be in JSON, HTML, as well as and I want to say what to ignore. So coverage path ignore patterns. If right now, because it is already there, so our node modules are not getting picked, but if there is any other folder which is getting picked, so you can just add here, for example, source, and you are gonna have utils, you can do that. So this is how it is gonna pick. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this again. I'm gonna stop this. So let's stop this, and I'm gonna run it again. Let's see what will happen. So now you can see your HTML file is here. If you want to run it and show it to someone on your browser, you can run it and see it. Okay, so yeah, this is done. So coverage part is covered. Now let's talk about the optimization and why 100%, the higher the coverage number, is not the indication of the quality test cases. So I will go to the header test and I will go to the header file. Now here you will see what we have done is, this is a ReactJS or the programming concept. What I have done is, this is my header and I have created a navigation here, but I made the navigation the part of the header. What should I be doing is, I should be having one file, one component funda. So here, instead of having navigation and header together, I should be creating a separate navigation file, which is missing right now from here. So this is what we are gonna learn today, the optimization part. So the first thing I need to do is, I need to make sure that my navigation file should be there. Okay, so what we are gonna do is, let's go here, create our navigation.jsx, and here I'm gonna create test.js. We are gonna follow the same TDD. So what I'm gonna do is, what I'm expecting here, I am expecting that there should be the three links. So let me just copy a few things from here, actually not from here, from header. So we are going to reuse few things. I will remove this. This is navigation. Okay, we are not going to have, I don't need this, and I just need this test case. So this test case we are going to use. So navigation should have three links. That's it. Now this is gonna fail. The reason is because in navigation we don't have anything, and you can see here this right now it is 0 0 0 0. Okay, so let's go to navigation and start adding the code. So what I am gonna do is, I will go to the header, I will just copy this code, put it here, rename this, return header, I will remove this, and I will just keep this part here, export this, and let's see now what is happening. So it is saying it is not able to find the navigation. Makes sense, because we haven't imported it. So import navigation. Now let's see what is happening. Now you can see everything is done. Now let's do one thing. Let's comment this out and let's see here. Now can you see, because I have commented the test case code, it is showing 0 0 0 and it is showing the uncovered line, as well as our coverage has been reduced from 100 to 66. So this is how your coverage changes. So I will uncomment this and just run it, and now 100. Now here I wanted to reflect that we were okay. I have to update this also. I'm not. So now what I have to do is import navigation from navigation, and here I will have this, and I will go to my header test, and in that I don't need this anymore. Okay, I don't need this. The reason is because I'm already testing it in the navigation. That's it. Okay, now here if you will see, the thing is that though our code was not following the good practice, yet our coverage was 100%, which is wrong. So that's why I told you, higher the coverage number doesn't indicate the quality. So please remember that. Now here we have added the navigation, though we are though we are testing the navigation separately, but in our header test case we should do our integration testing. What it means is that header is having navigation also. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna import instead of navigation import, sorry, I was doing navigation import. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this part here, put it here, and instead of navigation I would say header should have 3 links, because this navigation is coming in our header. So sorry, instead of removing it, I wanted to show you the integration part also. So now let's go here, and now you can see everything is working. Let's try to fail it. Okay, so we will go to navigation and I will comment this. I will comment this to make it fail. So now you can see the two test cases are failing. Which one are these? Let's see. Header test. So why I did this? Just to show you that if there is only that even in our header we are testing the 3 links are coming. Now here there are 2 thought of schools. What is that? Few people prefer that we have already tested the navigation separately, so we don't need to write it here. In header we don't need to test it. But few developers like to do the integration testing, that even though they have tested navigation separately, but because this component is getting used in header, we should also do one test of that also. So I will leave it on you. What I generally prefer is I prefer to do it. So it's up to you how you wanted to do it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna uncomment so that everything is working fine. Perfect. So now what we have done, quick recap. We learned about the coverage part. We have added in the package JSON. So in the package JSON we have added the coverage. We understood that higher the number doesn't mean the quality is great. We also understood the configuration file, that how you can change the coverage reports, and if you want to ignore the patterns you can do that also. We also did the optimization of our header component, and there I showed you the example that how higher the number doesn't indicate the quality. Then in the navigation I showed you that in now navigation component is coming in header, so you can do the integration testing where you are just seeing that when the navigation is within the header, even though we have tested it in isolation, you can go ahead and test it again in your header. But it depends upon you how you want to do it. A lot of developers just ignore that because they have already tested navigation separately. So it's up to you. With this, I will wrap up today's video. In the next video, what we are gonna do is we are gonna learn about the API test cases testing. So we are gonna do a API testing. We are gonna do the GET request first, and then slowly we will move towards the other post and all that. If you have any specific request that what kind of testing scenarios I should cover, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you.